What's good, YouTube? It's your man CJ, aka the High Value Nurse, checking in once again, back with another video. Just getting off my psych nursing gig, going into the nursing home for 4 hours. Really less than that to pass meds, you dig? I'm gonna do the first med pass and I'm getting back up out of there because I gotta be back to work at the psych hospital in the morning. So, and I'm only doing morning for orientation. I am not a day shift nurse, y'all, but y'all know I got a trip coming up, and so I'm just grinding. I'm gonna be gone for about 18 days, so I just, I want to get it in, you dig? But I wanted to make this video because I do think that the nursing home, working in the nursing home, conditioned me to be an all-around better nurse. Let's talk about it. So for those of you who don't know, I've been a nurse for about 6 years. And within those 6 years, I primarily worked in long-term care and rehab. And I will say this, although it's not mandatory, I'm gonna say that again, although it's not mandatory, I will say working in long-term care, I feel, prepared me to work in the specialties that I work in now. I'm a hospice nurse and I'm also a psych nurse. And I wanted to bring this up because, one, I wanted to show LPNs that it's more than the nursing home. But I also wanted to show LPNs that working in a nursing home can prepare you for some of the things out there, for some of the specialties out there, like it did with me. For example, when I was working in a long-term care facility, which I'm still, working in on a contingent basis. Now it's a real contingent basis. I don't really be going in like that at all. But when I was used to dealing with hospice patients because a lot of people in a nursing home, they die. They die every day. And you do have a lot of people that are on hospice, that are on end-of-life care. And when you are a nurse working in that environment, you are taught how to deal with patients that are in that kind of situation, that have that have end-of-life care. So I was already prepared. I knew how to do post-mortem care. I know how to deal with dead bodies. I knew how to pronounce. Everything that I could have learned from a hospice nurse in the field of the actual job, I learned as a nurse work. When it came to psych, I dealt with a lot of patients who were psych patients at heart, for real, but they were just undiagnosed. I know what it's like to deal with bipolar disorder. I know what it's like to deal with a patient who's experiencing mania. I know what it's like to deal with a patient that has PTSD, a patient that has that's delirious. All kind of psych conditions. I've dealt with that my whole career. And like I said, those people are in the nursing homes. And I will contribute, or I will give props to the nursing home for prepping me for that. Now, am I saying everything in the nursing home that I did or that was given to me was right? Absolutely not. We had times where we had 30-something patients, 35 patients, one CNA. That's just what it is in a nursing home, and it's unacceptable. But I don't think things are going to change no time soon, ladies and gentlemen. But what it did do was taught me how to delegate. It taught me how to prioritize. It taught me what was most important. And most importantly, it taught me time management, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who want to get your time management down pat, I do recommend you work in a safe nursing home environment. Now, you're gonna get times where it gets ratchet, but you need those times sometimes. Now, I'm not telling you to do something that's gonna put your license in danger, but sometimes you need those ratchet situations to help you build character as a nurse. But I will never say do anything that's dangerous or that's gonna put your license in jeopardy. Now, there are some assignments I had no business taking. now that I know better, and hindsight is 2020, I would never do that now. But as an experienced nurse, I know what I can handle and I know what I can't. If you are a new nurse, please don't be afraid to speak up and say, you know what, I don't feel comfortable taking this assignment. This is too much for me. There are plenty of nursing homes out here that will love to have you. Just make sure you leave right. You dig what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, even though we dealt with some wretchedness, I am glad to say that being a nurse, working in a nursing home, 100% prepared me for what I'm doing now. Even when I was in school doing clinicals, we worked on a step-down ICU unit, and all that was people. It was pretty much med surge, but they were just a little sicker, and I felt extremely comfortable because I was so used to that environment. You dig what I'm saying? I was so used to that environment. So if you work in a nursing home right now, and let's just say you've been there a while, I don't want you to feel like that this is the end all be all to your career. If anything, I want you to flip that mindset, because again, you do got to understand, I'm a living proof that you can make good money outside of the nursing homes. Some things you just got to go out and research and study for yourself. I had no idea the psych hospital, at least in my area, I had no idea the psych hospital was popping the way it's popping. I had no idea that the psych hospital had the kind of hours that they had. I had no idea that I knew LPNs could work in hospice, but I didn't know they had on-call positions for LPNs. I just didn't know because I was ignorant, but I had to go out and research and look. And also, I was fortunate enough to have an LPN that was doing hospice to come in and put me on game. So just like that LPN put me on game, I'm putting y'all on game. Y'all gotta, if you really want to get away from the nursing home, you gotta be able to go do some research, and you cannot be lazy. But let me tell you something, a lot of that stuff that you get away with in the nursing homes, you're not gonna get away with in these other places. You dig what I'm saying? All that coming late, coming whenever you want to, taking a smoke break every 15 minutes and all that kind of stuff, your boyfriend pulling up outside and you sitting in the car for 2 hours, that stuff is not gonna fly, at least from my experience where I work at. Not in these psych hospitals and not in these hospice places. It's definitely different. It's a different breed. So you just got to come correct. But it 100% prepared me for my experience, and I am grateful for that experience, because now I'm totally conditioned to work anywhere. I really do believe I could work anywhere with the proper amount of training. It's nurses that complain. It's hospice nurses that complain about the driving, and they complain about having maybe three calls in the night. What? My boy, that's light work. 3 calls in a night? You mad about that? But see, a lot of these nurses, they never came from that environment. It's nurses that go straight to psych, or it's nurses that go straight to the hospice, and they never had that med surge experience. They never had that nursing home med surge experience, especially because, again, it's kind of sad that we are conditioned to working in such bad conditions, but at the same time, on a positive side of the game, it helps us out greatly in the long run. So at the end of the day, what I'm saying is this: if you are an LPN, a new LPN, a nurse, or because you don't have to be an LPN to work in a nursing home as your first job, you don't. But if you are a new LPN or a new RN and you want to get some nursing home experience, I'm not going to tell you not to do it. I definitely will say it can grow you as a nurse. But what I will also say is be careful. Figure out what kind of nursing home environment it is. Figure out what the ratio is on the norm. Figure out what kind of staffing they got. Are they always short? Which most nursing homes are always short. What kind of tip is management on? Do they play games? You got a lot of toxic people that work in these places. So you got to figure out if they play games, if they on some funny business. If you a person that like to grind and get money, are they gonna hate on your overtime? Unfortunately, you have people like that in the nursing home and in these environments that really be hating. Now, at the hospital I work at, it's so much overtime. It's ridiculous. They be begging people to come in. Hospice, I'm in automatic overtime when I do on call. But if I wanted to work during the day, or if I wanted to do, like if I wanted to just work 2 weeks straight in hospice, I'm sure I could, because they could always use the help. But the thing is, they don't play the games. So nursing home, being a nurse in a nursing home can condition you for almost anything. But a lot of the times the nurses pick up those bad habits that they have in a nursing home, the smoke breaks, the ghetto-ness, the going outside, coming in an hour late, being mad, don't want to get a report. A lot of nurses pick up those bad habits. And this is why a lot of LPNs in particular don't venture out and try different things within nursing, because a lot of them not willing to comply with the rules of the other places when they can just go to the nursing home. And with the nursing homes being so desperate, they can do and get away with whatever they want. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for you today. Let me know how y'all feel about that in the comments. My name is CJ, aka the High Value Nurse, checking in once again, back to the grind. Listen, go to thehighvaluenurse.com, get the it's not brand new, but go ahead and get that hot selling ebook, The Ultimate LPN Mindset, for all my new LPNs. And it just gives you the mindset on how to make the most money in these nursing homes. It gives you what you need. You dig what I'm saying? It helps you get into that mind frame on how to hustle, how to get to the bag, how to stay focused, how to ignore the detractors. You dig? So go ahead and get that. Go ahead and get you a shirt off the highvaluenurse.com. Link will be in the description. And if you don't do anything else, hit that like button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss none of the content we got popping off on here. And please don't forget to get paid. Young nurse, get paid. I'll let you in a minute. Peace.